Hey everyone, welcome back to 996. The Howl July 1st free agency day for the NHL, unrestricted free agency where players can willy-nilly pick from which team they want to sign from. Last year, when Utah was still figuring out its situation, I picked the free agents for you, whereas this time, oh, sorry, little board. We'll do a little bit of a choose your own adventure where I put pretty much all the unrestricted free agents on the board and then I starred the ones I would pick. And then from here, you could pick your own unrestricted free agents. I did not put defensemen on the board because, like I said in a previous video, they have 8 NHL defensemen on contracts already, and that doesn't even include Simashev and Lamoureux, who are going to battle for spots. So just adding a free agent defenseman just really doesn't make sense to me. And the reason why I have goalies here is we still don't know the situation with Connor Ingram. This is why I don't have any stars there. I would prefer Ingram to stay with the team, be committed with the team. But in any case, if Ingram cannot commit to the team, here are the unrestricted free agent goalies. It's a pretty poor group of players for the goalies. And pretty much the whole class, I feel, is pretty rough. I just don't think Utah is going to throw a bunch of money at any of these free agents. With Marner, I made a whole specific Marner video. I'll link that in the description. You can go watch it there because I'll probably gloss over Marner, even though it is a hot topic around the Utah fan base. So we'll start with the centerman. For me, before we start, there's two glaring objective holes for Utah in the forward group. That's a second line winger and a fourth line spot as well. Now there might be arguments for a center position as well. You could move McBain to the fourth line with Stenlund and Kerfoot. You can move McBain to the wing. McBain doesn't necessarily have to be a third line centerman. You can grab another centerman and put McBain somewhere else, which is why I have centerman. But yeah, there's two glaring holes. Again, like I said, second line wing and fourth line wing. The second line wing during this season was occupied by Carcone, Yamamoto, Michelli sometimes, paired with Hayden and Schmaltz. That's when I'm talking about the second line. The first line, obviously the new first line of Keller, Cooley, and Gunther. On the fourth line, it was occupied by Bukestad, O'Brien, sometimes Carcone. I assume, already Carcone is leaving Utah, and I assume they'll walk away from Bukestad as well. And I don't want O'Brien playing more than 40 games again, so definitely need another fourth line player to play with Stenlund and Kerfoot. So we'll start with Tavares. I went in order of most expensive to least expensive. We got Tavares, 35 years old. This guy scored 38 goals at 34 years old. These ages are the age they will be for the new season. He also had 74 points in 75 games played, just an offensive dynamo for Toronto. But again, I think he'll probably want about $5 million, and I'm not willing to give over five and over to a player who's 35 years old. And only got Brock Nelson, another aging player there, 34 years old, $6 million. Maybe, but doesn't push the needle to me too much to push McBain out. When you look at these centermen, you got to think about, does this evolve our team? Does it really elevate this forward group and give them a different type of punch and look? And getting Nelson, I didn't like how he played in the playoffs. A bit of a ghost for me. I watched the first round between Dallas and the Avalanche. I keep knocking the board. I got to stop doing that. And then Granlund. I was going to star Granlund, but again, 33 years old. I think he'd be a good depth player to have on your team. I could be argued for getting him in free agency. $6 million. Maybe you offer him like a 3-year, $4 million deal. I'd be okay with that. But at the end of the day, I didn't really star him. His offensive stats just aren't really there when I went to go look at them. Sam Bennett starred for me. He's looking for a raise. He had a career year. of 25 goals. He's doing an unbelievable job in the playoffs like he always is. This guy's a playoff performer. He's gritty. He toes that line of discipline and undiscipline. But to me, I feel like he would elevate the Utah Mammoth. He plays like a Mammoth type of player, even though he's not huge. He's not a huge big body, but he plays that style. He'll be looking for a raise around $7 million, maybe even more. So that's a little bit tricky considering right now our most expensive players are Sergachev, just over 8, and you got Keller and Gunther at 7.1. So if you go and give Bennett like 7.5 or $8 million, he is a Stanley Cup champion winner, so it makes sense he gets paid around the same as Sergachev. So maybe around $7.5, $8 million I'd be good with. With all these free agents, you better hope they don't take a step back once you give them that huge contract, which is always a risk in free agency, which is why I'm a little bit timid about free agency. And then we go to Dvorak, Christian Dvorak, former Coyote. This $4.5 million contract is still from the Coyotes, from John Shaika. Great job by Bill Armstrong to trade Dvorak for a first-round pick. He kind of just lost his touch in Montreal. I wouldn't want to bring him back. Again, doesn't move the needle to move McBain out of that position. Doesn't elevate our forward core, even though I loved Dvorak. I just hope he goes somewhere else and thrives. Probably not in the Central Division, but any other division, I hope he gets traded to and he just resurrects his career there. Duchesne, I put a star, 34 years old, $3 million. It's still cheap, so I think maybe he's looking for his last contract in his career. He had 30 goals last season and 82 points in 82 games played. So you're adding a lot of offense down your lineup. I think he would be great on power play number 2. I just think he adds a little bit more offense to the team, and you could offer him, like I said, looking for his last contract of his career, maybe give him a 3x3 or $3 by $2.5 million. Like, that's pretty cheap considering the cap is rising exponentially over the next 3 years. I'd be okay with Duchesne just adding a little bit more offensive firepower down our lineup. Not a Stanley Cup champion, but he is a veteran. So, that, and the Utah forward core is really young. Like, they had one of the youngest forward cores in the league. So you add some veteran experience and age with Duchesne as well. Donato and Suter, they both had career years. Donato had 32 goals. He doubled his goal totals and point totals. And Suter had 25 goals. These guys are looking for huge raises, which raised some alarm bells for me. Career year. They knew it was a contract year. They're looking to cash in. And I wouldn't just cash in for them just yet. They're 29 years old, so they want that 7-year contract for sure, or 8 years with their current team. And then Jonathan Toews, he's looking to get back into the league, and over the years under Bill Armstrong's tenure, he's loved bringing in Cup champions. We saw Andrew Ladd with the Coyotes, Jay Beagle with the Coyotes, more recently Ian Cole, Stanley Cup veteran players who want to win and bring those leadership and intangible qualities of what it feels like to win and battle night in and night out. Someone the players could look at and again gain inspiration from. Jonathan Toews, I mean, how crazy would it be if Bill Armstrong managed to get Toews and Kane on the team for just 2-year contracts? Money's not really a problem for Utah right now. And then you just injected your team with 2 3-time Stanley Cup champion players who just want to win one more time, know what it's like to be there. Like, that would be amazing to have Toews and Kane on your team. Toews probably looking at $1 million, 1.5. Kane probably looking at a decrease. I don't know why Detroit gave him $4 million, but 36 years old. Maybe I'll give him, again, 2.5, maybe $3 million. Like, to have Kane on your power play number 2, and it's Keller's idol. Keller grew up idolizing Patrick Kane, modeling his game after Kane. So wouldn't that be such a great story for a captain, Clayton Keller? Then we go on to wingers. Marner, already talked about. He's not starred. I think I made a decision. I don't think I really want him on Utah. Again, go watch the video in the description below. Jamie Benn. Guys, like, come on. Imagine a line of Krause, McBain, and Jamie Benn. Unbelievable. That's demon time for the other team. That will be a brutal lineup to face up against. I feel like Jamie Benn fits Bill Armstrong's type of hockey to a T. Yes, he's coming off a $9.5 million contract. I don't think he'll expect that in free agency. I think he's looking for one more contract in his career, one more crack at it. Everyone's saying Dallas is looking for changes, so why not scoop up Jamie Benn? Maybe offer him, 36 is a bit old. 3 years is a lot. Maybe 2 years at $5 million, I'd be okay with. It's a bit rich, but again, it's very short term, and we really don't need to give away money this offseason. And then next offseason, the cap goes up, Utah's cap space goes up. They just need to re-sign Goalie, so that could be a problem there. But it's a short term enough where it won't hurt you for the future. I think Jamie Benn on this team would be incredible. Then we got Brock Nelson. Is it Brock Besser? I don't know if his first name's Brock. From Vancouver, we have Besser. This guy's a ghost. Anytime Utah or the Coyotes played Vancouver, I feel like this guy's never mentioned on the broadcast. He dropped off hard from a 40-goal season to a 25-goal season. He's looking for a big contract. I would stay away from him, so didn't put a star on him. Marchand, I almost put a star on Marchand. I feel like Bennett gives a little bit more. I feel like Marchand, 37 years old, just stay away. Like 37, it's a bit old, even though he's having a great playoff and, he'll probably win the Stanley Cup. But for me, I just wouldn't throw money at I said that about Taves, but at least Taves, you might get him for $1 million or $1.5 million. I think Marchand will demand about $3-4 million, considering how well he's playing the playoffs, being that shutdown type of guy, competitor, hard to play against, a pest a little bit at times. Ehlers, I would love to have Ehlers on our team. Pure sniper. Out of his 10 NHL seasons, 8 of them he's at 20 goals plus. This would be such a great player to have in your second line wing position or in your lineup wherever, to just not worry about him scoring goals. This guy's just automatic 20 goals, and that's what he does. He just scores goals, and Utah had a hard time last season getting goals away from their top players. So to just inject Ehlers into the lineup and you don't have to worry about it, it's like, there we go. That's 20 goals in the bank for sure. He'll probably demand a lot of money, $8 million, I would say. He is probably demanding, so maybe a little bit rich for Utah, but if you can just put him in your lineup somewhere and just get that guarantee of 20 goals, that would be great for Utah to have. Like I already talked about Patrick Kane, then Nyquist, Dadonov, Beauvillier, we have Olofsson there. I feel like these guys they don't move the needle enough for me to offer them contracts, and they're getting up there in age. Well, these two guys are Nyquist and Dadonov, 36 years old. I'm not going to give money to them to play second line wing position, and to play down depth on your fourth line just doesn't really make sense for me. Beauvillier, I liked in the playoffs. He was a bit of a competitor, goes into those dirty areas, retrieves pucks. I could see something there to be on your fourth line wing position. Definitely would be an upgrade over Bukestad. Connor Brown on Edmonton, back-to-back Cup finals, so adds that playoff experience. Again, I think that would be an upgrade over Bukestad on that fourth line, but if you have Brown and Beauvillier in your lineup, does that elevate the Utah Mammoth? Does that make them more threatening? Probably not. But if there's no prospects, if Boot isn't ready to take a wing position, then maybe you get some of these depth role players. Then we go to goalies. The first two, Husso and Allen, they were drafted by St. Louis when Bill Armstrong was with the Blues. So Bill Armstrong's had some history with looking at them through their juniors, through drafting them, how they developed. So if anyone knows these guys, it's Bill Armstrong and Doug Armstrong, the GM of St. Louis. So I'm sure if Bill has his eyes sight on one of these guys, he's done his homework and he knows his stuff. Husso, he's kind of dropped off since St. Louis. He went to Detroit and then Anaheim. He has 25 and 26 wins in his in seasons in his career. He's just, I don't know, did he have injury problems? He kind of fell off the face of the earth. So maybe he could go to Utah again if Ingram isn't committed to the team, and add some reliability and provide some games off for Vejmelka. And then Allen is just a veteran NHL backup. He'd be great just to give Vejmelka some rest. He's steady, he's reliable, he's consistent as a backup. Is he getting there in age? 35 years old. Almost $4 million. Husso, $4 million. Definitely not getting that. Definitely will be like a $1 or $2 million tryout deal. And again, with Allen getting up there in age, probably $3 million. And then we have Forsberg on Ottawa. Again, I'd rather Ingram over all these guys, but he would be an option. His numbers are pretty poor playing with Ottawa. But again, that's Ottawa, who's not known for their defense, so that could be a steal as well. Vladar, he's from Czech. He was Vejmelka's backup goaltender in the World Championships, so they got some camaraderie there. And our top goalie prospect, Horrible, is from Czechia as well, so maybe there's something there as well. And Eric Comrie, again, league minimum, pretty cheap. Maybe you grab him even if Connor Ingram says he's committed to the team, just to add some insurance. And then if Ingram outperforms him in training camp, you could put Ingram in the minors or just throw him on waivers. So that's it for me. Who would you like as a free agent for Utah? Would you rather get a defenseman, or which one of these players would you prefer on the Mammoth? Was there someone I missed that you liked? You could put that in the comments below, but that's it for me. Thank you for watching. If you like what you see, spread the word. And as always, thank you for your support.